Hello, everyone. It's Saturday night, and thank you for tuning in to another awesome live edition of the Ravens Flock.
Why are you trying to sound like Vince McMahon? He's a piece of shit.
I wasn't trying to sound like Vince.
Yes, he is.
Go
ahead and tell him. Nope. He's trying to sound like Vince McMahon. Go ahead and tell him. Sledgehammer.
Your face is nowhere near like ballsack breathing to resemble Mr. McMahon. You're cool. Also, your morals are higher.
Well, thank you.
But not by much.
Hey.
It's not exactly a high bar to clear, but you're still in a much higher position. And before I forget again, thank you all kindly for joining us once more as a group of nerds gets together to talk about what's going on today in the world of geeky shit and pop culture, as well as ourselves to date.
Absolutely. And while we're live, if you're tuning in and watching, leave your comments or leave your questions. If you're watching from the desktop screen, leave all your responses to the... Are we pointing right here?
We are pointing to the right of the screen.
And if you're watching from your mobile device, leave your comments and questions down below.
Why don't you join us when we do this, Angel? What the fuck?
Because I don't know why you're pointing at the
invisible
letters.
We're pointing at the letters over here. If you're on a desktop, just point it with us.
And if it's a mobile device, then leave your comments below.
Like down under this. You see that?
Why
Under
are you doing that shit?
the shit with the magic of the internet.
Leave your comments and questions down below. We'll take time off of our discussion to answer all questions and comments. And be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all of them.
Just right here.
Looks like we're ready.
Oh, hey. Atlanta the Dragon Queen, you were watching us on Los Amigos play over here. Yes, we are your nerdy brothers. You are our nerdy sister. Thank you very much for joining us.
Absolutely.
Does it sound okay? We sound like we can actually speak?
You can hear us, right? You've been able to hear us this whole time?
Please let us know if you can hear us.
We're using our audience for tech support.
Oh,
The level of certification that the world has never seen before.
I know, right? So this is the last weekend of June, and we want to start off with some developing news that happened earlier this week. And yes, Watson, thank you. Or at the bottom. Earlier this week, Tampa Bay Comic-Con has officially announced that they have canceled for this year.
and Atlanta's actually over here saying, yeah, sound is good. Thank you for that.
Now, to give you a bit of timeline to this, earlier, I believe it was sometime last month, May or April, where MetroCon
May.
announced.
It was May.
It was May, where MetroCon announced that they were canceled this year. However, Tampa Bay Comic-Con was still pressing forward for July. Hang on a minute. Let me take a look at the date.
Yeah. Real quick, before anyone tries to get any dumbass political idea about us, when we say Tampa Bay Comic-Con finally canceled, we're saying that in regards to the public health concern about gathering nerds who barely acknowledge the existence of personal hygiene to begin with, congregating in the middle of a horrible, horrible pandemic that we're all dealing with. So we're not saying this like, oh, they wanted Tampa Bay Comic-Con to be gone. They don't like this convention. Like, well, first off, no, we don't like the convention. At least the convention runners, because apparently they got a problem with us.
I'm sorry, we value the health and safety of people rather than big business.
Yeah.
Consider the fact that we live in a world where the insane clown posse cares for his fans more than most businesses.
Can you believe that?
They are now the reasonable clown posse.
They are now the reasonable clown posse, for crying out loud. And for the record, we're not trying to say anyone who likes Tampa Bay Comic-Con sucks or anything like that. If you like going to the convention, that's fine. We tried dealing with the convention ourselves. They don't like us for some reason. So if and whenever we cover, it's always grudgingly. It's only because we want to provide what you want to see. If you want to see our coverage of Tampa Bay Comic-Con, we will cover it for you. We may not like it, but it's not about us. It's about what you enjoy. You said.
July 10th through the 12th, which would be the weekend before MetroCon would be done. Thank you for that one. Okay, they can still hear us, so while you're fixing the camera.
Yeah. Work.
The timing of the announcement.
Oh, here we go.
Well, I'll let you guys debate on that. The timing of it, because it's supposed to be held in July 10th to 12th. That is 2 weeks from now that they have announced that they would cancel. They waited until 2 weeks prior to make that announcement.
It occurs to me that maybe they were trying to drag this out and see if they could basically push it as far as they could, and maybe they were hoping that by now the situation would improve. Instead, 24 hours after they announced the cancellation, 9,000 more positive cases were tested within the state of
Florida. What the hell? It's a friggin' nightmare. It's so dumb.
About the fact that corruption was pushing those numbers because she wanted more numbers because those were rookie numbers.
Yeah, and
I think she listened to me.
Oh my goodness.
well, hey, how about that, Angel? Senpai noticed you.
I am so flattered that senpai. Wait, no, stop.
She's noticing you hard, isn't she?
Just remind ourselves that we basically deserve this happening to us. We got people in Congress, like in Tampa or something, discussing that wearing face masks should be illegal because it is
Actually, it wasn't in Tampa. It wasn't in Tampa. It was somewhere else in Florida. I don't remember. It was somewhere stupid.
Long story short, we just signed an on-death warrant like 24 hours ago. This is gonna be great.
And it was more to the point. Like, where this, you have to remember, this is the same state where that same town hall that Angel's referring to. And I'm pretty sure this is making the rounds. So any of you who live in Florida probably have seen this, and those who haven't have seen it anyway, because we're the butt of everyone's joke. In this town hall, you had one lady who was saying, like, oh, this is about the 5G that's going to infect us and going to scan our brains. And you think you know about citizens arrest? We're going to citizens arrest you. And this is all a horrible thing about George Soros and Hillary Clinton destroying us all. And you're trying to make us all your slaves. Well, we're going to citizens arrest you because you worship Satan. And in that exact same stupid town hall, another dumb lady comes in and says, I don't wear a mask for the same reason I don't wear underwear. Things gotta breathe.
Well,
what kind of stupid bitch is that?
She's gonna breathe all right. She's gonna breathe real good until she starts choking on her own lung fluid.
God!
I remember that I saw a little clip of it when this lady was talking about how wearing a mask was a hazard to one's health. The guy behind her, some dude in a suit, is trying to laugh his ass off.
Jesus!
And I'm just thinking here, okay, you guys talk a lot of shit about wearing a mask, but what about doctors that wear masks like 8 hours a day?
Exactly!
What about the construction workers that need to wear masks because they work? What about the guys in the coal mines or in the sewers?
Yeah.
Oh no, that's hazardous. Go ahead and breathe in all of the refuse and the piss and poop water in the sewage.
So when,
sure.
When
yeah.
Inevitably run for courts, can we have like a law that says that doctors have the right to refuse you service for this one?
There it is.
Like I know that doctors have to do that whole Hippocratic.
I don't know.
All right. Let's
I
move
think
on
for
this,
once,
please.
for once, can we change the Hippocratic oath to the Hippocratic suggestion? You have to do it.
You're cutting in and out, Angel.
You're cutting in and out, dude. But anyways, I want to get back on
How
topic
about now?
if you don't mind.
Better.
Now, prior to this, there were other cons that have canceled this year, and hey, good on them for having a conscience. How?
Your sound keeps flipping in and out. Here.
Let me just take this thing off. Sorry about that. We're experiencing something. Because I cannot handle the power of my vocal cords.
So while other
It's
cons,
probably trying to handle your vocal cord parasites. Oh!
while other cons have canceled, one of the major conventions in the United States, Dragon Con,
Oh yeah.
is still moving forward for Labor Day weekend.
When is that again? What date specifically?
Here we go. Labor Day weekend. That is on. Let's see. Remember, it's a 4-day con.
4 days.
Across 3 venues in Atlanta, Georgia, who's having just as much problems trying to get their shit down as Florida. So, Georgia, you guys don't shut the fuck up.
It had to be
Because y'all
Georgia.
are just as bad as we are, okay?
It had to be Georgia. Dude, okay, so
Georgia.
I do believe that we are correct in essentially asking anybody who's listening to us to not go.
Probably, yeah.
Labor Day weekend is September 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th.
That's September, though.
Yeah, that's
Like anything in August or September, that's when we could start seeing something. As long as y'all can, as long as everyone out there could just stay the fuck calm for a minute
No.
for 1 month.
Mass panic.
Quit complaining about the masks. Quit complaining.
Bro.
Wear the fucking masks.
Bro.
Or stay the fuck home. Please. I want to go to Omni Fandom Expo in August. I want our friends to go to Dragon Con in September. I want us to be able to go to Holiday Matsuri in December, or even LumiCon for Christ's sake
We want
in
that too.
October. For crying out loud,
Mm.
what the fuck?
Want. We
Bro.
want that too.
Yeah,
Bro.
I want it. And do you? Does he want it?
This virus, I want it more than anyone else, but I gotta look at the facts, man. This virus began on January 2020. And ever since, more people have died from their own reckless irresponsibility than the virus itself. The virus is like a fucking catalyst to awaken the Darwinian style of fight or flight. And these fuckheads decided to keep fighting against an unbeatable opponent. I'm sorry, Juan. I don't want to be the guy that basically says this is gonna go bad, but this is my prophecy. That con's gonna get canceled too.
Well,
God damn it! I hope not.
Well, Third, if at any time we feel that that cannot be accomplished, we will do what is needed to protect our community. We
Yeah.
understand people have concerns and are currently reevaluating our refund/roll forward policy. More guidance on that policy will be available.
I knew it. I knew it. They're going to do the same thing this other con did. They're going to drag it out as far as they can to see the situation. And if it doesn't improve, then they'll have the refunds ready to go. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I feel like this is the way it's going to go. It's just like there is no uncertain situation. There's a fucking pandemic. People are too stupid to follow rules, and those people die. Like, look at it this way. Nobody in this room is sick, thankfully, and let's hope it stays that way. We wear our masks when we go outside. We wash our hands. We clean ourselves. We wipe our asses. We take, actually, considering the summer is coming, we by default, we gotta take more showers. Waking up in the morning with a severe case of Floridian swamp ass is the most unpleasant experience I've had since that one time I didn't eat for 3 days. But point in case is, shit's bad. And because people refuse to acknowledge common sense, shit will continue to remain bad. Bro, I hate to admit it, but the way this is going, and like, honestly, even with all the dumb mistakes our government has made in handling this epidemic, it's still mostly the public's fault. They have actually refused to follow the basic rules of wash your hands, wipe your ass, clean yourself, cover your mouth.
And stay social distant, whatever.
Like, make no mistake, our government and their dumbass policies have seriously contributed to this, but the masses, the public, the ones responsible for keeping themselves and other people safe, have actively gone out of their way to violate every rule of common sense I have seen in the last 6 months. My dude, this ain't stupidity. This is now officially natural selection. If they die, at this point, I am halfway convinced that they deserve to die.
Oh my god.
I can't even bring myself to feel sorry for people anymore.
Like, I know what you mean, but at the same time, like, why won't they listen? Why won't people listen? I don't fucking get it. Why do people have to make it like such a fucking issue? Like, oh, you're impinging on my freedom. Like, no, you're impinging on our collective need to survive this shit.
Time to go.
You need to put yourself out of the equation and think about the group as a whole. But no, you're in my America and in my guns, and I need to breathe in my scrotum. No, fucking scrotum. Put some fucking underwear on. I don't know.
Please.
What
I don't need to see your hanging ball sack.
Oh, do we have another comment?
Hold on, hearing Jose.
I
I'm hearing Jose. This Jose, right? Bald Jose or Angel?
Yeah, is it me or is it him? Because my
Jose's coming in fine.
Yeah, I haven't done jack shit.
Damn.
Well, the point is,
The world refuses to hear my voice.
well, no, the point is
Crank
that,
this.
yes, while there is a population of people that are actually following the
How's
government,
this?
thank goodness that they are, there is still a group of people.
Yeah, it's you.
It's you.
I'm sorry, Saitama. The world cannot hear you.
Speak up a little.
No, I think the volume is fine. The problem I seem to be the device is broken and
No,
faulty.
I'm checking out right now. Jose, speak.
Hi. Hello?
Yeah, it's there.
All right, fine.
Just swallow the whole thing.
Better. Right?
All right. While there is a population of people who are actually following the guidelines, thank goodness, there are still individuals who are ignoring the entire situation, all because they're thinking about themselves and what they want. But they don't realize when it comes to a global pandemic or a natural disaster or anything that will impact the world as a whole, it's not about you specifically.
Imagine being so arrogant that the minor discomfort of a piece of cloth in your face is enough for you to essentially put yourself and others at risk of dying. Bruh. Have you seen all those Facebook posts of like people bragging about no? Please to survive.
Now, the organizers of DragonCon, good on
Yeah,
them
it's
for-
yours. Hang on.
Working on it.
Second. All right, try now, Jose.
My name is Jose Casabona. How you doing?
Why is yours low? Here, take mine.
What is going on with Joe's mic?
I don't know.
We sincerely apologize for the technical difficulties we're experiencing right now. Normally we test it out, but we were busy playing Pokemon yesterday. It felt like yesterday to me.
All right. How about coming off now?
Got something?
It's just you were talking
But I'm all right. How about now?
How can
How about if I talk like this?
Yes, there we go.
All right, there we go. So good on the organizers of Dragon Con for issuing the statement. And yes, while it can be argued that this has been a common practice with other organizers, waiting it out to see what happens until they make the decision, at least they're keeping us informed, and that speaks volumes over the organizers of Tampa Bay Comic-Con, who haven't given any announcements until this week.
yeah?
They kept their shit to themselves, and one of the things, like I mentioned earlier, we had Omni Fandom Expo keeping people in touch and keeping people apprised on the situation. We had MetroCon keeping people appraised with weekly announcements and stuff. I can hear you better now, Casabona. Yeah, see, I guess it's this thing. I don't know. So we commend our colleagues and con friends who run these conventions, who actually keep us informed, who actually keep in touch. It's almost like you can almost say that with the head of MetroCon doing it almost weekly or whatever. It's like, okay, maybe we don't need that many updates, but that could be arguable. But the point is, he actually gave a shit enough to keep us updated. Our friend Samantha, who runs Omni Fandom Expo, she gave us updates as were needed, and she gave us updates on the change of the time of the convention, the updates on Kissimmee, the city of Kissimmee updating their own shit, and along with the county's restrictions and everything. So, if the convention owners would be so fucking kind as to actually keep us informed on a continual basis on stuff that we need to know, then yay, fucking hell, yes, we could very much do with that, and we would appreciate it immensely.
That would be that would be awesome, and I'm sure that not just Dragon Con, but all other con organizers who have a conscience, who have brains, they'll keep it up too. They'll be doing their part. It's up to us to do our part and follow the guidelines to keep ourselves safe, because it kind of works both ways.
Yes. You gotta think of it like customer service. Like, imagine you're filling up a massive form for your customer over the phone, and you're telling them, I'm still working on it, please bear with me. Ultimately, those words don't mean jack shit, because, hey, they're not really gonna make the procedure go faster. But sometimes, every now and then, the customer on the other side of the phone wants to hear that somebody there is working for them. Even if it's something as simple as telling them, I'm on this section now, or I'm filling up this information now, or I'm still working on it, please bear with me. People need information to stay stable. If the people in a position of authority don't say anything, the public gets restless, because if they're not getting a trickle of information down as a status effect, they start freaking out. After all, if the folks who are in charge don't tell you what's going on, who's going to tell you what's going on?
Exactly.
So please make sure to keep your crowds updated. It is highly necessary.
And as for the attendees who want to go to these cons, please do your part as
Please
well.
don't.
Yeah, well,
Actually,
Just don't. Let's not fight around the bush. We don't want anybody to be at risk. We don't want anybody to die. I don't want anybody to start coughing up liquefied pieces of their fucking lung tissue. So just don't.
And look at who's actually giving you this message. Look at which of us is actually asking you to please not fucking come.
I have very little regard for you,
We
ladies and
actually
gentlemen.
depend, as far as a channel, as far as our group is concerned, we wholeheartedly depend on going to conventions and covering them and being able to report on what happens on them. There was one convention that happened last weekend.
Well, careful with that.
Hang on. That we didn't go to. It was one that was very close by to where we live here in Tampa.
really.
Yeah, it was Hero Hype, and it's a multiple city convention. So you have Hero Hype Orlando, Hero Hype Kissimmee, Hero Hype Tampa, Hero Hype Miami, whatever. But the point is, we wanted to go really fucking badly. We really would have liked to come to this convention. But the fact of the matter is, even if it was a small gathering, even if it was with limited crowds, even with social distancing, it was still too much of a risk. We have our buddies, the Gotham Underground cosplay group.
I remember them.
They went and went to this convention, and we salute the shit out of them for going and meeting their obligations by going to the convention and being a part of it.
Crazy
But
bastards.
God Almighty, I wish we didn't have to resort to this, because it's so terrible that we don't want our friends to run that risk of catching this bitch.
Yep.
I know Angel loves his Corona senpai, and she's noticing what he's saying.
Oh, yeah.
We don't want to meet Corona senpai. No, we don't.
No, we don't.
She's a yandere. Stab you in the back.
All right.
Regardless.
but regardless, I think we can all collectively agree on this. As far as the attendees are concerned,
That shit is gross.
Juan, please. I got this. So yes, prefer that you that you remain at home and keep yourself safe. We would prefer that you stay home and stay safe so that you'll have a chance to go next year, depending on how the situation plays out. However, ultimately, it is your choice because the majority of the people that attend conventions, they are adults. So if you choose,
Debatable.
if you choose to go to these conventions, you're doing it on your own volition. You're doing it at your own risk. The choice falls on you. So that being said, follow the guidelines bestowed upon by the convention organizers and follow CDC guidelines in general. Wash your hands, take a shower, maintain social distancing. If you are going to go to these conventions, follow the damn rules. If you are going, if you're not, if you're not, then great. You just saved yourself the trouble.
Yes, please. Now, we as fellow lovers of the con community will never outright tell you not to go, except that I just did 5 minutes ago. So let's ignore that for a second. If you do decide to go, we cannot stop you. And frankly, I can't be asked to get off this chair to stop you from doing so. But please be aware that you're flirting with a disease that will A, fuck up your lungs, B, fuck up your central nervous system, C, crap out your toes, and D, there's a hypothesis going around that if you're a man, it will destroy your ball sack too. Thank you.
Yeah.
Please understand that you are putting yourself at risk of a disease that will mess you up so badly that you might end up having to take AIDS medication to survive. If you don't think that's a bad thing, look up the side effects of what AIDS medication does to you. It's a fact. The page is about this long, and half of those side effects can possibly kill you. So, for your own sake, make a responsible decision. But if you choose to go, be aware that we have no pity whatsoever for whatever consequences may rise from your actions. I'm going to go to your funeral, and I'm going to laugh and piss on your tombstone. Fine, I will piss on your tombstone, and then I'll laugh.
If you must piss on a tombstone, do so after the procession.
Oh, of course. I'm going to be the one giving him his last rites. Yeah, I'm ordained, I can do it. Hey, I was a church boy for a while. That's close enough.
We want our friends in the con community, and those who don't consider us friends in the con community. If you've got a problem with us, we don't care. But guess what? We don't want you dead. We don't actually want you dead. We may want you to not have any clout or whatever the fuck, but we don't want people dead.
No.
No.
If we have no enemies, how are we reversing our value as people?
Exactly. The point is, this Corona Chan bitch virus, whatever the hell it is far more brutal than anything we would ever wish upon our worst foe. We would not want anyone to catch this shit. So we strongly encourage, if you're a con owner or if you run conventions, so please reconsider staying open or keeping open. If you don't have any way of closing down without it being either fatal to the convention, closing it off permanently, or suffering some sort of insurance penalty, which is probably the reason why, which is likely the reason why DragonCon is still open. That's insurance over like 3 or 4 venues.
That's another point.
Smart thinking on that.
Yeah, that's actually a point that I was going to make. There might be some commitments or some sort of contractual obligations that they can't get out of.
You know, you can't really fulfill any contractual obligations if you're dead.
Oh, but you don't die right away. You just run it through, and then 6 months later, we'll catch the Corona Gen, and then you die.
Can you imagine how that must feel? Like choking on your own lungs? Like trying to take a breath of air only to feel like a fucking wall of raspy phlegm in your esophagus? Can you imagine choking on dry land? Drowning on air? Oof. Well, that's what you're going to get. Hope you enjoy it.
Attendees, we do want you to stay home. We want you to stay home and stay safe.
Please live.
In fact, I believe I made a point a couple of weeks ago how financially beneficial it would be if you don't go to conventions this year. In this case, we're talking about DragonCon. I can't imagine how many hundreds of dollars the attendees have spent. Thousands of dollars that the attendees have spent, because this is one of the biggest cons in the United States.
And if they keep doing this, it's going to be one of the biggest body counts in the United States.
But if you decide not to go and get your money refunded to you, holy crap! Think of all the money that you'll be getting back, and all the and everything that you can be doing to plan for next year.
Come on,
cosplayers. They have no sense of personal responsibility.
Like real.
A cosplayer and his money are soon parted.
Like, I get it was a bad stereotype. We're terrible at handling our money, but please consider this for yourself. If not for your money, then for your well-being. This quarantine's been driving everybody up the fucking walls. I get it. We're not making the best decisions. We're making decisions based on fear. We're making decisions based on our primal lizard brain.
Our id.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Me want thing now.
I want to go to cons. In the worst way, actually.
Me want fun.
Jamie
You don't
want
want
big
that.
boom.
Yeah, but fun comes with death. You want death?
No.
Then no fun.
Well, here's the point, though. Human beings are really bad at calculating the odds. So if I tell you there's a 1% chance you'll survive, they'll be like, "So you're telling me there's a chance?" Dude, that's what casinos use to keep you there for hours. Our brains are stupid when it comes to statistics.
Yes, they
The
are.
people who study statistics have told me this is the worst thing in the world because he keeps telling me I'm wrong. Even when I'm right, I'm wrong. I can never escape the percentage. Like, that's the problem. We can never gauge the odds properly.
Yeah, at this point, I think we're repeating our point here, so I think we'll just conclude it with this. For the organizers of DragonCon, yes, you're doing a great job in keeping us informed. Keep it up.
Thank you.
And if there is anything, any sort of factor that's keeping you from canceling this year, keep us informed all the same. We, as the attendees, have a right to know.
Yes.
They could easily say, no, you don't. That's internal business shit. We don't have to tell you anything. Yeah, well, we don't have to give you our fucking money. It'd be
Exactly.
nice if we could actually realize that, okay, are you staying open just for money? Are you staying open because you have no choice and you have to meet your contractual obligations? Are you staying open because, I don't know, somebody's got a gun to your head or something?
Well,
Let us know.
to be fair,
Our decision accordingly.
it would be naive to assume that money is not one of the many reasons they're staying open. That being said, they can't tell you that because corporate business means that there's a lot of contracts and paperwork that says that you can only reveal certain information to the public. So I figure this is the way it's going to go. They're going to be releasing crumbs of information as the situation develops.
Part of the PR play.
And depending what happens, if the virus gets worse, very likely, or better, somewhat less likely, they might either go through with it or they might just decide it's time to cut our losses.
We want to have dance parties. Yes.
She
We want dance parties.
decides to do the ritualistic jumping, mating, screaming procedures. I heard of those before. The whippersnappers do it nowadays.
But yes, for the organizers, yes, we do pay for you. We do pay to go to your conventions. We have a right to know. As for the attendees, we want you to keep safe. We want you to stay at home. But if you choose to know, the choice is on you.
In case you're wondering, I'm not yawning because I'm tired. I'm yawning because this room is warm as hell and it's putting me right the fuck to sleep. It's very, it's actually extremely comfortable. I could go to sleep right now. This is great. Death, misery, cons closing down. That's like my bed lullaby, bro.
If you go to sleep, you will be resting in peace.
Oh shit. But how can I?
We would need to take your body and have it dealt with by the end.
Oh shit.
Clever segue.
For those of you who,
Right, it's a clever segue. Go right ahead.
it is time for wrestling news, ladies and gentlemen. As you might know, The Undertaker has become an iconic figure in the land of WWE. For the last 3 decades, his presence has inspired awe and fear in the hearts of the crowd and the hearts of his opponents.
Capturing world championships and wrestling steal the show matches at WrestleMania, The Undertaker has been a cornerstone, an icon for World Wrestling Entertainment for the 30 years of his career. His final match was this year, WrestleMania 36, in a boneyard match against the phenomenal AJ Styles.
Indeed. And that brings me the big announcement is the fact that Mr. Undertaker, after so many years of kicking ass, taking names, and bringing the pain and burying motherfuckers, sometimes literally, in fact, has decided that it's time for him to finally hang up the spurs, as they say, put down his belt, and retire to a peaceful life with his family.
Yes. On the final episode of his miniseries, The Undertaker, The Last Ride, this is
available on the WWE Network. No, we're bringing this up. I will do the ham all fucking day.
All right, but let's not distract.
Get it for $9.99.
Okay, anyway.
None of that multiplayer $60 only bullshit!
Guys, come on. I'm talking about The Undertaker here.
Sorry.
All right. So, in the miniseries The Last Ride, which is a documentary series that was released right after WrestleMania, Undertaker talks about his professional wrestling career in 30 years, and it goes into a little bit of his life and what the WWE means to him, and all the matches that he's been in. And on the final episode of the last ride, he has announced his retirement from wrestling, from the WWE. He basically said, in his own words, it's time for the cowboy to actually ride along.
Nice. Oh yeah, that's right. He had a bit of a face back in the heyday where he used to ride a motorcycle.
Yeah, that was okay.
That was a cool gimmick. I don't care what anyone says. I love the American badass.
Okay, here's what's up.
He was a real American.
No, that's Hulk Hogan.
Not anymore, he ain't.
No.
He got erased.
Go on.
Okay. So, he started off in the year 1990, which seems so far off at this point.
That's 2 years after I was born.
I know, isn't that wild?
Holy crap, I was
And
blessed.
He started in the WWE in the year 1990. He did wrestling for a few years in the independent circuits under the name Mean Mark Callis.
Huh.
Which was basically where how he honed his skills. He still had a bit of that terrible, like, outlaw-looking style on him that you see.
Oh, yeah.
But when he was brought to the WWE, known as the WWF at that time, the World Wrestling Federation, Mark Calloway was brought in, I shit you not, by the wrestling manager called Brother Love.
Huh.
Who was, if you were old enough to remember, Brother Love, also known as, what's his fucking face? Bruce Pritchard.
Bruce Pritchard.
He had the terrible gimmick of being like a televangelist thing. The fucking guy wore a white suit, white shirt, red shirt, white tie, a little rose on his lapel, and he had his hair slicked back, and he had his face bloodshot red.
Jesus.
Like red makeup on to look like the fucking televangelist. Oh, screaming and evangelizing the power of love.
Oh, we love
you. That doesn't mean he likes you. And you comes off in like this pretentious, evil, sort of like televangelist fucking guy, and he's going to be bringing down the pain from a man that he summons from Death Valley, California. He was a mortician, but now he's coming to fight in the WWF, and he is known as Kane the Undertaker.
So that's where I was
For the
born.
first month, his name was Kane the Undertaker.
And then he just cut that out and became just
The
Theon.
reason why he gave the name Kane is because, like, biblical times, Cain and Abel.
Ah, that one. That
So
one.
all and he would be the darkness to Brother Love's like lightness, and they're both
To be fair though, if God was all like, this lamb is pretty good, but your vegetables were shit, I would kill my brother too. Fuck that. Fucking bullshit.
No, you remember the thing? It wasn't that he just gave him his vegetables. He gave him his leftovers, his crap, and his like his refuse, and offered that as his offering to God. And God was like,
Bruh.
what the fuck? Come on, man! I know you can do better than that.
I bought the I bought the size for the barbecue. This carrot's fingers are half eaten. Be gone from my sight, thought.
Now, this Boneyard match that happened in the last WrestleMania was a much needed way to send him off, considering in his last years in the WWE, he's had lackluster matches over in, I believe one of the lackluster match, which was horrible, was over in Super Showdown in Saudi Arabia, and that was last year against Goldberg. And what happened is that, like, there was a lot of factors. First of all, Goldberg himself, he can't, and like we've seen it all before. His matches are usually short, between from a couple seconds to like maybe 3 or 5 minutes, because he's supposed to be built as this Superman that will spear you, tackle you down, and then jackhammer you and just leave you.
I'm sorry, but I can't imagine the Undertaker ever going down in a fast fight. That dude is built like a brick house made entirely out of other brick houses.
Yeah, see, that's just it. Like the phenomenal, the phenom, the iconography of the Undertaker is at odds with the iconography that you have of Bill Goldberg. The Undertaker is meant to be like this larger-than-life character, and we're not even talking about like him being supernatural and him having evil powers.
He's literally larger than life. You seen that dude?
One of the most famous things about him is that he had an undefeated streak of WrestleMania that went, 22?
Damn.
22-0.
He appeared in 22 WrestleManias, and he won 22 of them nonstop. It didn't even, the whole idea of the streak didn't even
really start materializing until his 10th WrestleMania win.
Until people realize that, wow, this guy keeps kind of kicking all the asses here.
The thing about that is that every one of his matches, they weren't squashes. They weren't like 5-second thing and he beat somebody like Bill Goldberg. When Bill Goldberg gets that, it's shock and it's quick. It's like, oh God, does this guy even have a chance? No. So Bill Goldberg, he's built for those kind of quick shock in the moment. The Undertaker can go.
Yeah,
He can go
he's
for
undead.
minutes.
His endurance is infinite.
Exactly.
Yeah, and there was also a couple of spots where Goldberg was being, for lack of a better term, careless. He did bust his head trying to do a spear onto a turnbuckle that caused him to bleed wide open.
Jesus.
And for the rest of the match, it was all sloppy.
Ah.
But that's not really Undertaker's fault, though.
No, it's more Goldberg's side. That's
Looks like the man should have practiced his routine a little more.
A little bit, yeah. But the point is that we've got the Undertaker's whole illustrious career here. One of the things of it was him being him creating this WrestleMania streak. Another was him, like, sort of his persona shifted and mutated and adapted as the years went on. He started off just like a regular ass mortician who started evil, but he was still human at that point. He loses a buried alive match once. I don't remember who was it against, but he comes back and you see that he's different. He looks zombified. He looks like he's gained powers from the undead. And that's when you start seeing him with more of his supernatural stuff. Early into that is when we're introduced by someone who, and this whole time he's managed by Paul Bearer.
Mm-hmm.
Like Angel.
Oh, shit.
Bro, please be careful.
Hold on, you're good.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear the voice of my Lord? Are you ready to face the likes of my Undertaker? And yes, Mr. Paul Bearer became quite a mascot himself. He was kind of like the Phil to the Hercules. You know, like wherever one goes, you need the short, pale dude with a mustache and the microphone that cannot stop changing hands.
No, it wasn't the microphone itself. You would hold
Oh, the urn.
the golden brass urn, and you'd say, like, oh, and like, how is that the source of his power or whatever? And we have this beautiful mythos, like, oh, you see, the Undertaker, when he was mortal, his parents died in a terrible fire at the funeral home where they worked. Like the involving caught fire, and the Undertaker was the only one who survived. And Paul Bearer was a guy who worked at the funeral home.
Jesus.
So he raised him and helped him become the Undertaker and shit. But lo and behold,
There's
a
more.
secret that Paul Bearer, after he got sideways with the Undertaker and started working against him, had been keeping from the Undertaker. His brother Kane was still alive. He thought that he had also died in the fire, but Kane was so horribly mutilated and disfigured that Paul Bearer decided that he was going to raise him in secret in order to get revenge on the Undertaker. And even more shocking, the reason why the Undertaker started with his name Kane, the Undertaker, was in loving memory of his dead
Of his
brother.
bro. Oh, shit.
Mythology, this shit.
Man, this anime arc are really.
So that's when we're introduced. Was it 1997 or 98?
It was Bad Blood 1997 in the very first Hell in a Cell match between Undertaker and
Kane.
Shawn Michaels.
Oh,
That is when Kane made his debut. He came up from under the mat and he tombstoned the Undertaker.
Jesus.
No, I thought that he came in and tore the ring.
Oh yeah. He came in. He tore the ring board. He tore the
He
cell.
tore the door off of the cage. You got to remember, the cage was this giant 20-foot structure with a ceiling, so there was no escape. It was tied down after it was lowered, so you can't get out of the cage. But Kane, with his awesome might and his fiery thirst for revenge, took the door of the Hell in a Cell cage and ripped it clean off. And that's how he and Paul Bearer started laying their revenge against the Undertaker. And,
Damn.
And again, this beautiful and terrible campaign where the Kane had been challenging the Undertaker to a match, but the Undertaker, with love in his heart, that it's shame if we're not realizing that he could have saved his brother, said, "I will not fight my own."
God damn. This
This
manga is getting heavy here, bro.
and so Paul Bearer, speaking on behalf of Kane, whose throat was burned in the fire as well, so he cannot speak for himself. Kane had basically issued an ultimatum: I will destroy everyone in the World Wrestling Federation until you accept my challenge.
Jesus
So no one
Christ.
was safe. For almost a year, everyone was victim of Kane, and it was until The Undertaker accepted his match against him at WrestleMania 14. That the Undertaker would finally face Kane.
This is actually one of the best stories in like wrestling mythos. It's pretty good.
And he fucking won. He defeated Kane. And the problem was that Kane was every bit his equal. They were both 7 feet tall.
Dante and Borgio, but with way more muscle.
Giants. They both have the same supernatural powers and shit. But where the Undertaker calls down lightning and has druids and fog and
Kane raises fire from hell.
down and destruction
Oh.
on anyone.
So one is divine punishment and the other one is hellish punishment. That's pretty cool.
Yes.
Man, I was not expecting the lore to get this fucking heavy here.
Oh yeah. How many more stories are you gonna tell?
We're gonna tell the tale.
He just pulls out a book.
All right, fair enough.
It's the least we can do after his retirement.
We have to honor the legacy of this magnificent undead dude.
After he defeats his brother in one-on-one combat in the WWE, the Undertaker takes a turn for the worse of his own. He decides to embrace the darkness within him, and he decides to call upon
Embrace the darkness that's within me.
He forms the Ministry of Darkness.
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
And you see him changing his appearance less and less like a man who's undead and more like a fucking cult leader with a top knot and sort of the same.
Huh.
See that as A's knot. Are you trying to be a cult leader?
What?
What?
Well,
I didn't say that.
you're wearing my shirt.
Bruh, what?
Right.
I got out at the right time, I guess.
You ain't got out. You're still in.
Oh no, compulsory
I
evacuated
can
by.
change that.
No! Okay, so he beat his brother and he felt so bad that he turned into a cult leader. What?
Okay.
And with the ministry, he has battled the likes of The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Damn, he turned into the final boss, didn't he?
Yes. And in one of the spectacular angles, he kidnaps Vince McMahon's daughter Stephanie and puts her and crucifies her.
Jesus!
He puts her to crucifix and he was going to sacrifice her to the powers of darkness and shit. But lo and behold, the beer-swilling son of a bitch himself, Stone Cold, comes in and whips the shit out of him and rescues Stephanie.
Oh snap.
But the problem is, the Undertaker claims he's not working on his own. He answers to a higher power.
Oh.
But who could be higher than the Undertaker?
Tell him.
He brings the cloaked higher power out into the ring so that he can kneel before him and so that this higher power can expose himself and reveal who's
Oh no.
It's Vince McMahon.
He was me, Austin!
Yes.
He was my wrinkly ballsack all along!
And the ministry angle was killed.
So that's where that stupid meme came from. To be fair though, knowing what we know about Macbeth, we know that he would be the kind of man who would crucify his own daughter just to get more ratings. Like, it's not even a joke anymore. This man is on inch. We gotta get him out of that seat.
That being said, there were gimmicks that didn't work with the Undertaker, but fortunately, the ratio between what worked and what didn't work, what worked was significantly high. Thanks to the Undertaker, we have Hell in a Cell matches, we have casket matches, we have
Jesus.
live matches, we have Inferno matches.
So this man is personally responsible for the creation of many of the actual aspects that people hold WWE so highly into. 7 different matches, rivalries being born out of the lore, memes.
However, after we saw that Vince McMahon was the higher power and the Undertaker wasn't interested in bowing to him anymore, he literally went on his motorcycle and left. For 7 months.
Screw this, I'm out of here.
And, actually, he left for about a year.
He left for about a year, and he made his comeback in May of 2000 as the new American badass version of The Undertaker. Motorcycle and all, sunglasses, bandana, black trench coat, and he laid waste to all the bad guys.
I understand the crowd wasn't particularly pleased with this aspect of his persona for a while.
Just because it came out of left field, it came more along the lines like, okay, so he's not a supernatural evil guy. All right, so what
He's just a Hell's Angel.
Now he's a Hell's Angel. He's a biker. He's an evil dude who just whips the shit out of people.
Oh, so he's Lobo.
Yeah.
He's literally... Wow, he even looks like...
You wanna know the
Can we just get Undertaker to play Lobo in like the next DC movie?
Right.
You know,
You could do it, Kane. Come on, man.
No, Kane was.
Sorry, I jumped back to his old name by mistake.
Yeah, the American Badass gimmick, it was pretty good up until like 2002 and 2003. It started losing its
Edge.
luster.
That's
Edge.
when Kane, who had recently unmasked himself and unleashed his full rage, beat
Huh.
Yes.
But
Does history repeateth?
oh, you have no
In a
idea.
spectacular way.
But then Konami made Monster Reborn available again.
Kane, for the longest time, it started being tormented with visages of the Undertaker teasing his return. Said, "No, I buried you alive. I defeated you, and the reason why I won is because he went soft. He started being a human like everyone else. He started being an American badass and a big evil for everyone's appreciation. And he's a monster like me, and he's never coming back. I killed him. I beat the Undertaker."
Man,
And so,
this is top quality Greek
Undertaker's
theater
like,
here.
hold my beer.
no,
No,
the
that-
Undertaker said, "Oh, tell him to hold my beer."
Oh, he's mighty beverage in his hands.
WrestleMania 20 in 2004.
Jesus Christ.
The Undertaker makes his beautiful triumphant return as the Phenom once again, as the dead man,
Noise.
with his druids and his superpowers, and he's coming in with an amalgamation of all his old clothing. He had the black leather trench coat.
Ah.
He had the beautiful
Wide brimmed hat.
Exactly. He had himself in like a singlet and leather biker pants and stuff because well, that's what he was buried in.
Because he uses the pain from the chafing to increase his power.
And thus, The Undertaker returns at WrestleMania 20, and he lays waste to his brother and defeats him, and returns as the Phenom. And for several years after that, he was a mainstay on SmackDown, which is why we had some beautiful memes on SmackDown as Teddy Long, who was the general manager, saying shit that you'll be in a tag team match, or
You'll go one-on-one with the Undertaker. Holla, holla, holla.
which was
Oh,
like
Jesus.
what the general manager would do to certain heels. That he
Imagine becoming so well known that your bosses get to use you as a threat.
It's so beautiful.
Don't make him come down there. I swear to God, I'll send him in.
Up until 2009.
File your taxes.
Up until 2009 and 2010, The Undertaker has dominated the WWE roster with WrestleMania victory after victory after victory, and he was featured prominently on Raw, mostly on SmackDown. 2010 is when The Undertaker started featuring only once a year. We don't see him wrestle as much.
I understand that at that point his health took a bit of a hit and the man wanted to spend some time with his family. I mean, the dude is like, what, 50, 60 now?
Now,
55.
he's
Yeah.
55 right now. But
It
at
may
that
not
time-
seem that old at the time, but the dude already went through a lifetime of very strenuous physical activity. That will take a toll on anybody, no matter how strong they are.
Yeah, absolutely. So while he wasn't featured as much as he used to, his WrestleMania streak was still alive until WrestleMania 30 in 2014 in New Orleans, Louisiana, when the streak was broken by none other than former WWE champion and former UFC heavyweight champion Brock Lesnar.
Well, shit.
Like,
Fun fact: the Armor Titan from Attack on Titan is based on Brock Lesnar, right down to the hair and the body build as well.
Now-
So did the Armor Titan.
Okay, you have to remember something very important. A couple years back in WrestleMania, The Undertaker had fought in a Hell in a Cell match.
Yes,
which
yes,
was
yes.
dubbed the end of an era. It
That's
was dubbed so because his match was against Triple H, and it was refereed by Shawn Michaels. Like you have to understand,
Damn.
all three of these guys were like the apex of like the Attitude Era. And
the great one, the Goku and Vegeta of this.
Exactly, and so when you got to that point, nothing could compare to that afterward. Everyone had suspected that with this being his 20th WrestleMania appearance, that he was going to win and he was going to retire then.
Yeah, I already expected that to be the last one, right?
It wasn't the last.
Nani?
That was what, 2 years before Brock Lesnar?
That's right, WrestleMania 2012.
Huh.
And that's when, no, and the year between that, you had The Undertaker fight CM Punk. And CM Punk was in this.
That's right.
With his beautiful hot hell streak, where he's like, I'm going to be the one in 20-1. I'm going to be the one to break the Undertaker streak, and he brought the Undertaker to his limit, but still couldn't win.
It also led to that amazing moment that you guys showed me where he was trying to pin down and the Undertaker using nothing but pure muscle got up from a position that is normally considered to be like impossible to break out of without dislocating your arms or some
And
shit.
you saw The
CM
Undertaker
Punk's looks like, what the fuck? I have made a terrible mistake. I took a calculated risk, but I just realized now I need more ice cream with my name in it.
That was one of the best Undertaker matches in WrestleMania.
It was actually pretty fucking hype to watch because at that point, I'm sorry, I gotta jump into this one because I'm not that good at wrestling, but you guys show me that match And it was one of the coolest things I saw because at that point, it looks like CM Punk has it in the bag. Like he's pulled all the stops and he did the impossible. He forced that mountain of a mount to the ground and he has him down. And then the Undertaker just gets this look on his face like, okay, time to stop fucking around. And you see him get up and the crowd, there was a brief moment where the crowd hushes and then goes fucking bananas. And he turns to look at CM Punk and CM Punk is like, Masaka! Impossible!
I don't want to be a dork.
Ah.
Like, would it be okay if we stay for a second? Like, I
No,
can
no,
walk them, you can
no.
take-
Do
If
it!
they, want, if they want to find it, they can look it up themselves.
Right.
But
You can just
that's
YouTube
very,
it.
very long. Come on. Like, you take the glass off. You'll be Taker. The Taker was bald at that point. Right?
He was!
Or did he have a mohawk? I don't remember.
He had a mohawk, but yeah, sure.
Oh, man, like, I'm looking at that clip and I'm like, this is where dreams are made, bro.
So he had him like this,
Yep.
and he was going to like take him.
Yeah,
and-
don't actually lock it in for him.
No,
and then-
It was this.
Yeah. Like, normally you wouldn't be able to break out. And then the Undertaker goes and goes, it's time.
The fear of God in him. Like, oh my God. Like, he's not just a streak of a man. Like, you gotta remember that CM Punk in that storyline, he was like, I'm going to take you down as a man. Paul Bearer had actually passed away.
Ah, yes, Paul Bearer passed away, babe.
And what CM Punk was doing is he got a hold of the urn.
Oh,
And
shit.
supposedly the urn had been replaced with Paul Bearer's ashes or whatever.
Oof.
And what he did as part of beating down the Undertaker was he was showing a video of him backstage playing hacky sack or tossing it or and like playing with the fucking urn. And when he beats the shit out of the Undertaker, he rips the urn open
And
pours
pours it. I'm
it
like,
all over Taker.
the sheer level of disrespect. I haven't seen a person disrespect a person that hard since the word simp was invented.
But I don't want
All right.
Let's not take up too much time with Punk. That was a good
Right.
match, but afterwards,
Punk.
yes, but his match with Brock Lesnar, there was talk that the Undertaker wanted Brock Lesnar to end the streak.
Like
Huh.
that's it. The Undertaker didn't let anyone, fucking no one, beat the streak unless he said so.
That's
Unless he
amazing.
said, yeah, this is the right guy.
Imagine being so powerful. Imagine being so powerful you choose who will have the honor of dethroning you from your. Holy fuck. That's like Broly looking at the Saiyans and going, none of your bitches are good enough. Where's Krillin?
Nah.
Now, of course, despite Brock Lesnar losing at WrestleMania 30, despite Undertaker losing, the Undertaker still showed up on WrestleManias afterwards, and he picked up victories over Bray Wyatt and Shane McMahon. But then he lost another WrestleMania match to Roman Reigns at 33, which was poorly received because that was during the time of Roman Reigns' push where everybody was noticing what was being shoved into their faces, and they rejected Roman Reigns.
There's such a thing as you know what? They didn't follow the words of John Favreau. They didn't read the crowd's mood.
Yeah,
If you're trying to push the character too hard, they're going to catch up to it and they're not going to like the character because if the only thing you're doing is pushing it, you need to show what's good about it. It's the Captain Marvel effect. Everybody's telling me how great she is. I ain't seen it, bro. Come on.
After which, that was when The Undertaker only started showing up sporadically until this year's WrestleMania.
Where he finally did one last hurrah. The flame lit up and flickered brightly one last time.
I showed you the match, right? Until I sent you the video of the Boneyard match.
It was freaking beautiful, dude.
It was funny, almost. Because you saw his buddies, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, like the Bullet Club guys, going in
Yeah.
trying to beat the shit out of the Undertaker, and he still whips their ass.
Yeah.
Right?
At one point, it was like the Batman vs Superman scene that they're just punching and punching, and he's just taking it until the last fist just goes clang.
And he backs it up like a punk.
So there is something beautiful about seeing somebody like Undertaker just no sell shit. Because you can tell the hits are landing, but the health bar ain't going down, and you're like, why won't you die?
The best part of that match is the Undertaker got thrown into the fucking the grave, the open grave,
Ooh.
and AJ Styles just comes in with like the tractor or whatever full of sand, full of dirt.
The lift.
And, yeah, and he's about to get it ready, and he's sitting there like, "I've got you, Taker. I'm gonna take you down." And you see backlighting hit AJ Styles behind him, and you see the Undertaker stand up behind him, like, "Bitch, I heard you talking shit like you didn't want to know."
Omae wa mou shindeiru. Nani?
That was good.
That was honestly a really good part of editing right there. Really
Best
impressive.
way to finish it off. And on this week's edition of Friday Night SmackDown, they actually paid tribute to The Undertaker, showing the Boneyard match. And on the final angle, all the WWE superstars on SmackDown, they all bowed and paid tribute to The Undertaker.
It is not very often that a wrestler manages to retire successfully. The amount of stress that comes with the job, the physical strain, the shitty contracts, it takes a toll. Many of them retire not even wanting to do anything, and some of them retire with very lackluster records. The Undertaker is a rare case of a wrestler that made history, and despite some failings in his career, managed to consistently keep the love of the public. Let's be honest, whenever he showed up, that was going to put the asses in seats. The fact that he manages to go out like this with a good, powerful, glorious finish means that he has cemented something that many people will never be able to achieve. A legacy. Nobody will ever forget The Undertaker. Nobody will forget his achievements or what he did. But we can all acknowledge that the man has done plenty. And now, for once, it's time for him to rest in peace.
Yes, indeed.
We will never forget the things you've done, because the nightmares that you left behind will follow us until our dying fucking days.
And as far as the WWE goes, they're still going to continue. You can make other wrestlers that'll have the same theme, but it won't be the same. As
You
the
just
saying
honestly,
goes, often imitated, never duplicated.
honestly, I hope they don't, because you know that whatever poor bastard is sitting there to fill out those shoes will never be able to gain the love of the public.
Here's the thing. Bray Wyatt is actually the closest is as someone who would be in line to step into that role.
Hey.
I've shown you Bray Wyatt in the past.
Kind of look like a refrigerator with arms and legs.
Okay, yeah, he's a big dude, but like the thing with Bray Wyatt is he has had a similar journey of shifting his character and stuff.
My
Like,
war for him.
He started off as like this sort of like
Swamp voodoo guy.
voodoo cultist kind of guy.
Okay.
And you saw that, and you see him like sort of shifting more towards like his darkness and his personality and his power being separate from himself. It took a storyline with Matt Hardy, and then what I showed you
Woken Matt Hardy.
in the Ultimate Deletion match,
Oh
where
yeah.
they fought, and you saw that he was like rechristened or whatever, or
Yes,
separated from
yes.
his darkness. And now he's evolved that into him having his dark personality, his monster, his fiend monster being separate from himself.
He's a stand user.
Kind of, yeah.
Wrestling is now a JoJo reference. We have finally come full fucking
And now
circle.
he's like evil, demented children's show host who's got this
Yes.
dark secret on there. So, and the fun thing is, the reason why people are reacting well with Bray Wyatt is because guess who helped him form this persona as he's been moving along?
The Undertaker?
The fucking
The
Undertaker.
fucking-
Ah, so he's an understudy of the big guy.
Kind of, yeah.
The understudy of the Undertaker. Ah.
I don't get it.
Don't worry about it. Well, the point is, The Undertaker has certainly left a legacy, and if there is ever to be a Hall of Fame ceremony next year,
The man deserves to be put there.
he deserves to be.
What if we just go the extra mile? Instead of a bust, they just put a coffin in his place?
Oh, they're gonna make the coffin look
Like, leave the
freaking
impression that, hey, maybe he's actually there?
awesome. They're gonna make the coffin look freaking awesome.
That would be
They
great.
believe that.
I will be down for I'd be down for an Undertaker bed coffin. I would sleep very peacefully there.
But of course,
I'd sleep in peace.
But I think we've talked enough about legacies and people moving on. But now, let's talk about something new that's coming our way.
Oh, right.
Well, we're gonna be talking about that show, about new shit in just a minute. I would actually like to invite everyone. Actually, I'd like to welcome our buddy here to join in on this.
Yo, Casper, what's up?
Casper.
Hey!
Can you hear us well, by the way, buddy?
Yeah, I can hear you.
What's
Okay.
going on, dude?
Nothing much. Just finally got dinner. So,
That's good. That's good.
Very good.
All right, so we just got through talking about the Undertaker retiring after 30 years. Can you believe that shit? I know you probably don't follow pro wrestling and all that good, but like that's like a big fucking deal.
30 years.
Be right back. Gotta use the white throne.
All right, well, Angel, you go ahead and take care of that. I'm gonna zoom in on the thing.
yeah, I think I heard about that. I saw it on Facebook, but. Alright, now the audio is really weird.
On your end, you'll,
Still.
what-
Yeah. Casper's like, oh, hang.
I can hear it so barely.
Oh. Hear who? Hear me or hear him?
I can hear you. I cannot hear Juan.
Oh. Oh, so this time it's Juan. Oh, man. Hang on, we'll fix it. Yeah, my thing was... let me turn it off for him.
There we go. How about now? Is that better?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah, no, I was just asking if you could fill in on how you've been holding up for the last week or so.
How have you been doing lately?
Sorry, I just been all right. Been okay. Ups and downs. We had to go get tested for COVID. Tested negative. Thank God. And we might be moving into a house soon. So, hence why you're seeing stuff missing is because we've started packing. So, I cannot hear you at all. I have not lost all audio.
That is so weird because we can hear you just fine.
Okay. Is it me or is it?
You, Jose, you're cutting in and out.
But I can't even... Oh boy, these mics.
I think it's something to do with our. Okay, I think it's batteries on these things that start to fade a little.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Casper. It's
Oh, now I can hear you. Now I can hear you.
now you can hear me.
Yeah.
Weird. Freaking weird, but okay. All right.
I'm gonna go ahead and get into this rolling over here.
Yes, absolutely. Because something I do want to talk about is the upcoming miniseries of Transformers War for Cybertron trilogy. I have seen the trailer. It is going to be Netflix exclusive, and if we can, Juancho, would you be able to play the trailer?
I do not like this at all. What is up with our microphone? It is TV. Get it set up with what do you call it? Getting the trailer.
Yep. Regardless if Angel's in the bathroom. If he shits, he shits. Yay. Can we go to our screen?
Big rig up in this bitch.
That look cool as hell or what?
Yeah, close off that window.
I'm so hyped.
All right, do we want to play it one more time? Since
No,
was out the
I already saw it before I came here, so don't
Like
worry.
I said, if he shits, he shits.
I have to. Now, as we know, the majority of Rooster Teeth, as we remember them, doesn't exist anymore. The original team has either been disbanded, gone their own way, or left due to personal reasons. Which leads me to believe that the media company that they're working with is essentially using the name of Rooster Teeth to promote clout. Because let's be honest, this CG looks way better than anything they have ever done before.
Has there?
Period.
Like even Genlock, which was pretty CG heavy, like in terms of CG appearance, doesn't come close to the shit.
No.
Okay.
This is the work of experts. They have a team working on this crap.
No,
Yeah,
they have
but-
teams.
They have multiple teams. What the hell are you eating?
Dinner.
Like, yeah, what are they, ribs?
Yeah,
Korean barbecue ribs?
Applebee's.
Oh, Applebee's. Okay.
Ah.
Hey.
All right, well, bon appetit. We actually got burgers and coleslaw waiting for us once.
Good old fashioned American burgers.
Yes. You best be enjoying that beef, boy, or we're gonna have some trouble with your kind around these parts.
Oh my God.
No, y'all know I love putting meat in my mouth. I'm good.
That's
Ah.
yeah.
Ah.
Wait, what?
Anyway,
Exactly.
how do we know for certain if production members from Rooster Teeth actually had a hand in this?
Let's put it this
Oh,
way.
I don't think we do, because if we did, they would not hesitate to brag about it.
Yeah, dude, because at this point, that's just speculation from you.
Well, no speculation is we know for a fact that Rooster Teeth is no longer what it once was. After he joined with a big media company, many of its members are simply not.
Warner Media.
Warner Media.
Freaking Warner Brothers and HBO.
Hello, Rosa. What's going on, Chief? Good to hear from you.
We are talking.
Hey, how's it going?
Sup, Chief?
We're
So,
talking about Transformers.
point in case is Rooster Teeth is, for better or for worse, no longer what it once was. Many of its founding members are not there anymore. One of them straight up left the country recently. So
Bertie Burns, he just hightailed it.
he grabbed his family and went.
I
But
don't.
let's be honest, I can't blame them. Point in case is Rooster Teeth now is just a name. It is just a brand, and any company that wants to get big enough and drum up some interest will most likely slap it wherever they can find it, because hey, you like Ruby, you like Genlock, you like Red vs. Blue, you like Giant Robots, we got some Transformers. Now make no mistake, I'm not saying the series is going to be bad. In fact, I like the Transformers show will have high quality production values. But let's be honest, the name Rooster Teeth is not there because people from Rooster Teeth are actually working on it.
And you can't go wrong with the Transformers brand.
Yeah, no,
Not even Michael Bay could fuck that up. Before you question me, I would like to point out at the mountainous piles of money which allowed the production of other Transformer works because that thing was made.
That being said,
Say what you will about the quality of the movie, but that shit made bank. I'm not saying money is. I will not blame you. Let's be honest. Money is no indication of quality, but it is, unfortunately, indication of success.
Yeah,
Yes, the series of Transformers has become a success in many levels with video games, with toys, comics, TV show, different cartoon TV shows, and yes, a successful yet inconsistent and annoying movie franchise.
That's why it's always ruined forever. Fun
Well,
fact: the most recently what?
Michael Bay has put the bar here.
Everything
so
else can only
who
go.
makes anything can be up here very easily.
One little fact: the series became ruined forever when it was first released. It has never gotten better ever since.
Wasn't it like at the dawn of time, over 8 trillion years ago, the Big Bang occurred and the universe as we know it came to motion? This was
Consider a bad thing, and people are complaining about it to this day.
Oh my god.
So yes, very much the exact thing. The Transformers franchise is all over the place. You know what the most cheese it snapped. Enjoy them cheese, girl.
Yes.
Actually, you know what the most fascinating thing about Transformers lore is to me?
What?
Not even within the Transformer universe, people know why female Transformers exist. They just literally pop out of the old spark one day, and everybody just went, "Yeah, okay, whatever." Also, energon can be processed into food.
In the comics,
Platinum salami is a thing that exists in their menu.
Not surprised.
yeah.
It is, of course, not suitable for human consumption, but also, what?
If you think about it, energon is not only food, it's
Yes.
also booze and their life source. So it's food, booze, and blood.
And bullets.
It actually makes sense, so I don't see any reason to question it.
Well, they are an alien species. They're not exactly machines. They are straight up. Honestly, they are genuinely as alien as can be, and that's what makes them so fascinating, because they are living beings that can feel pain.
They are autonomous robotic organisms. Yes.
Also, speaking of living beings that feel pain, I will highly recommend to anybody out there to check out Transformers Last Stand of the Wreckers. It's a comic book series about war, survival, and lots of good people dying in really stupid ways. They put it this way. They have entire chapters dedicated to war crimes. Yeah, the good guys, not so good guys. There was some bad shit going down there. Fun fact, it will also discover what was the greatest fear of Megatron. What? Do you know what mimosic surgery is?
Oh!
Allow me to give an example. To
No.
What's up? So let me give you an example. Remember
Someone
surgeon for like movies?
Hey, is it Michael Bay the one who ruined Dragon Ball Z, my awesome childhood?
No.
Wait,
Dragon
what?
Ball. Michael Bay had nothing to do with the Dragon Ball movie.
Yeah, no.
But a little bit of trivia. Good bit of trivia. The guy who played Piccolo in the Dragon Ball live action movie is Spike from Buffy. He then would go on to play Zamasu, another green color villain from the Super series that was much better received. But anyway, okay, so mimosic surgery is quite simple. I'm going to go into your brain and I'm going to fuck up your memories. Megatron, a warlord of countless battles that has faced the primes without fear, is fucking screaming in panic at the thought of being a memosurgeon to his cell. He outright threatens to kill himself rather than let that motherfucker anywhere near his brain. Ratchet used to be one of those guys.
Oh, you're right. Oh, God.
The Autobot army did some bad shit during the war, and, well, the Wrecker's job is to basically clean up the rest. I would genuinely recommend it. Beautiful art, fascinating characters, incredible fights, and one of the best lines in history. Human as you are, nothing but soft, streaky ventricles and crunchy little bones. What sound do you make when I pull out your seams? By the way, the guy who's saying that is currently on fire. It's metal as fuck! And I highly recommend it to anybody who wants to read some genuinely good storytelling from the Transformers franchise. It has like 2 sequels. It's
I'll
great.
have to look that up. But Casper, I know you've got your mouth filled with meat, but tell us,
Hey!
what did you think? What did you think of the trailer to War for Cybertron?
So I'm really excited. So because of my fiance, I've gotten super into the comics, and just every slight piggyback off of Angel, the freaking comics go hard. The comics are gory. They are horrifying. There's a robot without eyes, and he stares into your soul. And the Decepticon Justice Division, don't even get me.
Oh God!
AD.
Those fuckers.
But the Autobots, like the comic book Prowl, he's a disaster. But I'm really excited because I'm seeing aspects of other cartoons that I've watched. Like, it looks like in one of the trailers that there's going to be zombies, which is something they actually drudged into in Transformers Prime with Dark Energon.
That was a pretty good one.
And one of my favorite episodes was their zombie episode. But, like, I'm really excited to see if that's what they're doing, if they're using the blood of Unicron to revive the Decepticons, because that would be really cool.
It would be pretty sweet.
Ultra Magnus looks beautiful as always.
Yes.
One of the reasons why I'm excited is because being named War for Cybertron, that means that it might take some cues from the High Noon games, which were
Those are
You
good.
guys go ahead. I'll be right back.
right. So the High Noon games called War for Cybertron and
The Fall of Cybertron.
the Fall of Cybertron were honestly some of the best Transformers anything I ever played, because you get to see essentially the last days of Cybertron, how it just went down and just how terrifying and brutal it was for everybody involved. That last part at the second game where Prime and Megatron are facing each other and the game just goes, choose your fighter, and I'm like, oh shit, great. So if we can get some of that in here, I am looking genuinely forward to it. Honestly, Transformers is one of those media like things that has rarely.
You just instantly started a new sentence.
Sorry,
Go on.
it transformed into a new sentence halfway through, you see. I gotta say, Transformers is one of those media things that has rarely, if ever, disappointed me. Even the movies, for all the have some good moments here and there. Mainly that one record that was voiced by Fred Flintstone, which was hilarious.
That was pretty.
The fight.
A bloody ballerina that kicks ass and scalps heads.
He's talking about John Goodman.
He had a bullet in his mouth that he smoked like a cigar. Come on, man.
The Zygar.
Hey.
The Zygar. I think that.
Yeah.
I think the character's named Cup.
He's a pretty cool dude.
Oh, yeah.
Juan got some nurse shit.
Juan's got some bling to show off here.
If you could feel
Oh
that,
yeah.
Oh, so I guess.
all hail
So I guess we know which way his alliances shift. Isn't that right, Prime?
My
Ooh.
Decepticon necklace
This
is in
symbol
the
is
room that I wear when I cosplay Knockout.
Okay, seriously, this is pretty good. Where do you get this thing?
I ordered it on Amazon. It's like $17.
I thought it would be purple, but the
So did
blue
I.
is
Like,
nice.
so did I. It's actually got a blue inline over here. I don't know if you can see.
Ooh.
Fun fact,
It's actually, it looks purplish in the light here, but it's actually blue.
as we all know, the Decepticons
Megatron
originally
belt clip?
were an exploited casting.
Hang on a minute. Let's
Is that your Megatron belt clip?
That's my Megatron belt.
That looks pretty cool.
Yes.
Now,
It's so hefty. I love it.
as we know, the Decepticons were originally an exploited cast before Megatron in the pits and rose up to fight for independence. Maybe this was their symbol in blue back in the day when they were still fighting for a righteous cause.
When he
Before
was
the
still-
megalomania took hold.
Yeah.
And the
with-
Frank Weller took hold. And the base become way too raspy for his own good, Prime! Kinda sounds like Vegeta.
I don't know. If I wanted to cosplay a Decepticon, I would choose Soundwave.
I was just about to say you should either do Soundwave or Shockwave because
Classic Soundwave.
as either of
Classic
those.
Soundwave, the boombox. I think
Yeah.
Abe's thinking about it for Shockwave.
Yes!
OG
I would
Soundwave, yes.
Hang on.
You are still inferior. Decepticons are still superior.
No, dude,
Man.
Soundwave. Shockwave sounds more like a
Okay.
Scientist. Yeah, I know. Oh, by the way, another thing. Please, if anybody has any video games they want to play for Transformers, check out Devastation. A relatively short title made by the nice folks at Platinum Games that it's a G1 love letter.
It is.
They got every voice actor that wasn't dead yet used to play the part. That's how good they did it.
Transformers War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron are still good games too. So I would check those out.
Yeah.
Man.
I have Fall of Cybertron.
Noise.
Speaking of the new cartoon, what really tickles me is I think it's Shockwave. I looked up the cast to see if there was anyone in the cast I recognized. Do you know who's voicing Shockwave?
Who's
Who?
voicing Shockwave?
Todd Habercorn, who was
Bullshit. Of course, it's perfect.
Death the Kid, Italy from Hitalia. So I'm really interested to see how they're going to get that fucker who always voices like the high-pitched annoying ones. I love Todd Habercorn to death, but he's got a cast type.
Oh, you'd be surprised actually. Have you heard of this animated series in Netflix called Levius?
Mm-mm.
It's a boxing show in 3D. Really good show. He plays the part of the doctor, and turns out the dude can do the serious to a fault scientific voice very, very well.
Okay,
Also,
so,
the main character looks like it's hilarious.
God.
so I'm very excited to see him as Shockwave because I love Todd Habercorn, but I'm now just imagining Death the Kid, Shockwave.
I mean, the obsession with numbers and precision would not be out of place for Mr. I'm just saying. I'm just Super Saiyan Blue, Super Saiyan, Kaioken times 20.
Right.
We work.
So this is apparently a trilogy, which means that they're going to be split up into 3 little mini movies, or I think.
I'm down. If they have a good compact story, it shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, absolutely. I am totally on board for this. I can't wait for this to come out. And
Question.
yes,
The setting of the trailer appears to be some sort of deserted, barren wasteland. So we know
There we go.
on Cybertron.
You sure?
Where are they? Cybertron is pure metal. The closest thing to that would be the Sea of Rust. And trust me, the last thing you want to do is fight anywhere near that shithole.
It's literally called the Sea of Rust. Then I definitely don't want to be in it, even if it's a good idea.
Life itself is made of like
Castaways.
metals that keep shifting density. It's insane.
guys, I think Casper has a different theory.
Sorry, what's up?
Well, I had 2. I was also going to say, or it could be the acid wastes. But if it's War for Cybertron, I'm wondering if it's like when Cybertron, the planet itself, is dying, because you see in other cartoons, like in Cyberbricks that recently came out on Netflix, I think. They went back to Cybertron, and it looked very similar. So, also, well, no, Angel is the handsome villain in the group. He is.
Yeah.
Notice how many times we have to like watch what the hell he's saying because he says evil shit.
Nonsense. I merely speak.
Well,
my mind.
okay. Jose,
Right.
Jose, you're I think Jose would be like the anti-hero. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got it going on.
I'll save you when the time comes.
yeah, exactly.
But not because you want to.
Just
I
when
will happen to be those stars.
But I'm thinking maybe it might be like towards the end of the life of Cybertron, the planet itself,
Right.
before they have to flee Cybertron. At least that's what I'm assuming it is.
Yeah, no, it comes off as what they said was like, we need to take this this bloody chapter of our of our race's history to a close. Like, it sounds like these are the last days of the world before they have to flee, and then they take their war to Earth.
The last days of Cybertron.
Kind of thing, yeah.
Wrong locations. I gotta look this up. I want to know what's happening.
Yeah, but
He wants to see what could possibly be the closest to this
Oh,
desert of death.
74 pages.
Ha!
This is gonna take a while. I'm just gonna leave this for later. But okay,
Yeah.
I remember
Ha-ha!
some sections of I remember playing War for Cybertron. There were some areas that looked to be covered in dirt, but I just assumed that was just rusted metal. So, I mean, it's a big planet. Some organic matter or dirt from a fallen meteor may have settled there. I don't know, man. We'll find out. But hey, I always like more stuff that lets me know more about Cybertron because we know so very little about it. Most of the time, we're on Earth or another planet. Cybertron is usually mentioned in passing or very seldom seen. In fact, the Cybertron games showed us more of it than we ever seen in the entire franchise.
It's basically the Krypton of this world. Like, we see and hear all about how Krypton was great and how it was this awesome place, but they fucked up, or the sun exploded, or there's an internal implosion or something. Like, it's more like Cybertron is more the ideal for the backstory and the ideal for what gave the Autobots and the Decepticons the way that they're divided now, more than its own locale. From what I can tell you, like, because
This could be a toy commercial. It's amazing how far the lore has gone.
God damn it,
What did he say?
he said all this is just for a goddamn toy commercial. I can't believe how far it's gone.
Like, the level of dedication the writers put to this franchise is genuinely I wish more people put this much level of love and just soul into the writing for something as simple as holy shit, man.
I mean, you look at G1, it was just to make toys. They would get in the cartoon. They would get the wrong voices for the wrong characters. They would have the wrong color schemes. They forgot the Autobots could fly. Like, they just they did it for the first few episodes, forgot about it, and now only the Decepticons can fly.
Whatever.
It was a disaster.
It's buying toys, just keep shedding shit stuff.
Shovel it out. Hey, sir, how about we put a plot to this?
Impossible.
and they did the same thing for Transformers Beast Wars in the mid-90s.
Beast Wars was a very strange creature. Nobody expected it to get as good as it did. But then again, nobody expected motherfucking Dinobot to be as cool as he was. He was putting
Grimlock.
Shakespeare.
Oh, Grimlock. I love Grimlock.
No, it wasn't Grimlock. It was a Dinobot from Beast Wars.
Scott McNeil,
Oh.
the dinosaur.
Megatronus?
No.
what was
Megatron
his
was
name?
voiced by Yes.
No, it was-
He was voiced by Yes.
No, Megatron was just Megatron. He was like
By Yes.
Yeah, Megatronus became Megatron. That was his name when he was a gladiator. At least in certain continuities. I'm sure there are some, I don't know. But at least in the comics, I think Megatron used to be Megatronus.
No, I think it was Megatronus was Megatronus Prime, and then Megatron took Megatronus' name.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
And this was
That's
right.
it.
Yeah.
He was naming himself after his hero, essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
How far has this mighty man gone?
Then he went batshit.
Yep.
Hey, man. It all began when he strapped that giant dildo cannon onto his arm. I
Dude!
it went wrong from that point on. The
With
second
the
the Freudian problems began,
Quit trying to break Casper here, man. Just because it's true doesn't mean you gotta say it.
True. But it's so true.
Just because it's true doesn't mean he's gotta say it.
fun fact, speaking of psychological shenanigans,
God damn it.
Last Stand with the Records actually shows, it takes a little aspect of the franchise and puts it in a really dark light. You know how so many Autobots look a bit like Primes? They look like they could be Primes?
Kinda.
Hot Shot, Hot Rod, all those guys.
Right.
Right down to the mask and the body build. Yeah, that's not accidental. It's an actual psychological disease.
What?
Primes are held on to a very high standard in that society. Primes are what happens if Superman was real. So people would worship those. And in cases of war, a prime is basically the person that brings hope, law, and order to the chaotic world. So is it any wonder people would become psychologically fixated with them to the point that they would remodify their bodies to look like primes? Hotshot had one of the worst cases. He purposely hollowed out his chest cavity for the All-Spark, just in case, he says. I believe it's called something like Prime Imposter Syndrome, and apparently Even some Decepticons have them. Because primes are living legends. These aren't myths. These are real bots with incredible power. They have the power to reshape civilization. It's like saying like Jesus exists and he walks among you. And you can look like him.
On Beast Wars is complicated and it's stupid for me when I was a kid.
Well, it's not for everyone.
Beast Wars was fine. I think the sequel was the one that got really weird.
Yeah, Beast Machines. That one was weird.
Like I kind of like some of the designs. I won't lie to you, but shit got like literally too dark. I couldn't see what was happening in some episodes.
I get you.
Right, sorry, I got way off track. In any case, Transformers is baller, and we're getting more Transformers, and that is a good thing. Yes.
Always a good thing.
The only Transformers that is legit. I learned this. Okay, so hear me out. I have only seen the first like 2 Michael Bay movies because I couldn't. I tried. I couldn't.
I watched the first 4. I had not watched the last night, and I refused to.
Don't bother.
No,
I saw it.
but I learned, and so I guess you can testify to this. There's a Gestalt, and anyone who doesn't know what Gestalts are, they're basically when multiple mechs can form into one giant robot like Voltron. That has two cranes for legs, and they gave a Gestalt testicles in one of the Michael Bay movies.
Yeah.
Yes, the Constructicons. They came together as what, Devastator?
Yeah, honestly,
and they give them wrecking ball testicles.
The enemy scrotum.
That thing was cool until they showed that guy, and I'm like, movie, stop, please.
I hate that that's true.
Like, it was actually kind of cool until that happened, and I'm like, oh, it's not cool anymore. And you know what's the sad thing?
You mean the movies, right, Nora?
Yeah, don't bother with the movie. Honestly, the sad thing is, though, as far as technical specs go, that machine was a fantastic thing to make. Like, it actually melted the computers.
Like, you have to remember, like, it melted the servers and the computers at Industrial Light and Magic. That was George Lucas's babies, and they actually had to pay him back.
When he saw it. Like, okay, say what you will about the quality of the movies, but that is Michael Bay's crowning achievement right there. Like,
But he got George Lucas to
pushed the envelope so hard that George Lucas was like, holy shit, calm down, stop. I'll give the man credit for that, if nothing else.
Like, but at the end of it all, we're getting new Transformers. We're getting what looks to be mythologically good, badass Transformers, and I'm all for it, and I'm all behind it. So I got no issues with it.
I'm all for it too, and I can't wait.
Okay, question.
We got to start wrapping up.
How long before Steve Blum shows up in there somewhere?
Give it time.
He is.
I think they're saving him first.
He is, dude. They put him in Bumblebee the movie. He shows up for 10 seconds.
As Starscream, right?
No, it was Ratchet.
He was Ratchet.
On that one, he was Ratchet.
Okay.
He says one line during that really cool sequence at the start, and sadly, we never see him again.
He is a pricey motherfucker to
I'm
get.
complaining. The man.
He's worth every penny.
Bucks.
Oh, he is worth every penny, but that's a lot of pennies.
Also, the man for still playing the part of Tom in Toonami. Apparently, he's doing that for fucking peanuts. But it's
just because he likes the character.
It's the love of the job, and I can respect that.
Indeed. That being said, I think that pretty much wraps it up as far as this live stream goes.
Yes.
Casper,
thank you so much.
Like, any additional thoughts? Anything else you want to add, Casper? Please.
Well, mostly to the gal who said she hadn't watched Transformers. I highly suggest if you want to watch cartoons, start with Transformers Animated or Transformers Prime. I would say Transformers Animated first, and then Transformers Prime for one reason and one reason only. Transformers Prime, in my opinion, is the best Transformers cartoon that was ever made. So I fear if you start there, anything else will be a slight disappointment.
Can I throw Armada in there? It was actually pretty good, and it had one of the best character developments for Starscream I ever seen.
I still need to watch Armada. I've heard good things.
It is genuinely good. It has, honestly, it was one of those things that kept me running to the TV on Saturdays, dude. It was that good.
Fair. All right, I'll give him that.
I'm very excited. I hope this can be added to the roster of good Transformers media, because when they do it right, they do it right.
Yes.
Indeed. All right.
I think that's about it. Juan, plug us away.
All right, thank you very much for watching this week's edition of the Ravens Flock Live. We invite you to, once again, hit the subscribe button, which is located. Casper, can you point down over here at this corner, please? Right there. No, the other way. There it is. Down here. Hit the notification bell, which is right next to it. And please subscribe to us, share this content, and continue to follow us on Facebook.com/TheRavensFlock, Twitter.com/RavensFlock13, Instagram.com/TheRavensFlock online, home of the weekly live stream of our wrestling recap show, The Wednesday Night War. And of course, subscribe to us here on YouTube.com/TheRavensFlock, home of the Black Files, Los Amigos Play Live, and The Ravens Flock Live. And if you would please be so kind, if it's within your means, please support the Ravens Flock on our Teespring store. Teespring.com/store/the-Ravensflock. We're continuing our free shipping promo code FSHIP2020
Enter the
for.
code and you'll receive free shipping and handling on all your purchased items.
So please give that a try, and we need stuff like this to help us keep going.
Absolutely.
We are still broke.
Yes, indeed. But at the end of the day, thank you for tuning in. We are the Ravens Flock, and we are out.
Bye-bye.